What's up, Snap family? Told you we was coming back with another one. We got NBA legends and players explaining how Larry Bird and Magic Johnson saved the NBA. This is a live reaction. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that sub button, and comment below. Let get it. I'll be for real. I told y'all I don't be playing. Be just excited though.
The 1970s marked the decline in popularity and financial struggles in the NBA, but two transcendent players named Magic Johnson and Larry Bird ignited a fierce rivalry that captured the world's attention and changed the NBA completely. I'm going to show you NBA legends and players telling you how Magic Johnson and Larry Bird saved the NBA, mixed with some stories that will give you insight into how game-changing they were for their teams and the league. Without these two legends, the NBA would not be what it is today. Enjoy the video, man.
Real legends.
Up to that point, it was a stigma that Michael Jordan, all he does is win scoring titles. He never wins championships. That was my chance to get in the category of Larry Bird and Magic Johnson.
What Larry was able to do on and off the court, it defied description, and it was very much like being on tour with the Grateful Dead, in that you never knew what was going to happen. You knew it was going to be fun. You knew it was going to be great. You knew it was going to be dynamic. You knew it was going to be explosive. But you could never say, that's what's going to happen.
Showtime was born when he arrived. Personality off the scale. Energetic 24/7.
Ooh, what a fake, what a pass.
I always say that if I had to pick a team, he's my first pick because I know he's going to make whoever else I pick way better than they are.
I think Bird and Magic saved the league, and I think the league took off when the Detroit Pistons showed up on the scene. I think Bird and Magic, you know, what the NBA was coming out of in the 70s, and how the United States was. I mean, we have to talk about that now. How the United States was for black men in the 70s, and then Bird and Magic being on the stage in the early 80s, coming out of college, and then, you know, playing that game again. Magic coming to LA, Bird going to Boston. You know, they walked into culture. They walked into a foundation. They walked into a way of being. They walked into winning. They didn't have to, you know, get a piece of paper and go to school and get educated.
Right.
They walked into it.
Magic Johnson and Larry Bird
That's hard.
are the two most important figures in NBA history.
I agree.
What people don't understand, to answer your question, people look at this thing now where guys are making 30, 40, $50 million. When I came in, it was David Stern's first year. The average salary was $200,000. Magic and Bird, those guys changed the entire trajectory of the NBA and made it what it is today.
Oh, mercy.
The thing that always stands out to me about Larry was his unwavering confidence. I mean, he had a level of confidence that was far superior to the rest of us. And I think that we were all very confident people.
He's trying different kinds of shots this year than he did any time in his career. When you walk out of the locker room, here's this guy that's like, you know, let's go, let's get it on, let's do this, let's do this, let's do that. So all of a sudden you got this college atmosphere with the Lakers because Magic brought all of that fear. He came in, man, he's pushing that ball up the floor, and we were like, we gotta run. And if you didn't look up, and he was like, look up, Woodhall, hey! And the ball was right there.
I remember the first time Magic, when he made $1 million, we were going around high-fiving each other. We couldn't believe an NBA player made $1 million. That was Magic. He was the first player to make $1 million.
What year was that?
It was 85,
Legendary.
86, somewhere in there.
But he sounded like it was like a
25 years, 25 million.
$1 million a year.
Yeah. And we, like, me and Doc and Moses, like, I'm not talking about regular guys on the team. I'm talking like, they had never made $1 million before. But it's all, so the state of the league was like, two black, bunch of druggies, a bunch of thugs. The finals were tape delayed.
It's crazy.
There was only one game a week. And it's all because of Magic and Bird, who changed the whole dynamic of the league. So every time I see those guys, I want them to know, man, thank you.
Outscore you, you can out-rebound you.
Real legends right
Bird
there.
kept it alive to Walt for two. Oh, what a play!
He can pass better than you, he can defend better than you, he can lead better, he can dribble better, he can set up plays, he can beat a boy. He could do it all.
Bird lines up three-pointer. Yes, Bird's last three-pointer, so he tries another one. Of course! Earlier in the first quarter, Bird backdoor.
There was another time we played San Antonio where Larry was like 10 for 10 from the field, 10 for 10 from the line, and early in the fourth quarter, we beat him by about 20, and he told Casey, he goes, "This isn't any fun, coach. Take me out." He goes, "This isn't." He goes, "You know, they're not even a challenge tonight."
Bird winds up again, 3 points. 3 for 3 for LB.
Let's talk about your peers. We have the cover of the Street and Smith annual basketball issue, and there it is, Larry and Michael and Magic. When you're on the court with either of those guys, do you ever say, "Wow, I wish I could do that," or I wish I would have done it that way?
Yeah, I'm amazed by certain things that they do, and sometimes it is a sense of trying to intimidate, imitate one of the players.
Or intimidate too, whatever the case might be, right?
But I love playing with those guys because you know they're going to be very competitive. They got hearts just like you. They want the ball when the time's running out. And they're one of the greatest players in the league, and sometimes it's great to play against players like that. And a lot of people compare us, and a lot of people put one above the other, which I don't think is fair to either one of us. But it's fun. I love being around them.
And those two guys, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, saved the NBA. Really saved the NBA from really going under, because at that particular point, it was only maybe 4 teams that were making money.
Yeah.
Out of at that time, I think they might have been 22 or 24 teams in the league. And these two guys came along and they just kind of saved the NBA. So, all these guys out here that's making all this money, they owe Magic and Larry Bird a lot of kudos. They both made guys better. They both made their teammates better. They both cared about nothing but winning. They didn't care about individual stats and MVP trophies and none of that stuff. They cared about winning. They both had incredible, basketball IQs. They both were unbelievable on the court as far as seeing the game and making passes that you just didn't see. Neither one could jump very high. Those are probably the similarities. They both were 6'9", but they were both the ultimate competitors. Larry did a little bit more shit talking than Magic. Magic would talk only when you really got up into him and started messing with him. Then he would be like, "Oh, okay," But Larry was talking from the beginning of the game to the end of the game. He didn't care. But I think those similarities are the reason why those two guys were so competitive.
Yeah.
It started in college. Indiana State against Michigan State in the most viewed televised NCAA game in history. Watch these two guys go at it, and then that kind of carried over into the NBA.
That Jerome Kersey is going to give him some aggressiveness, particularly against Larry Bird.
Jerome Kersey's guarding Larry. I think his first 8 or 10 points were left-handed. And at that point, McHale was still coming off the bench.
2011,
So
that was mad champ.
Larry scores his 6th point on some kind of left-handed shot.
Bird against Kersey.
And McHale goes, "Hey, Jerome, when do we start shooting right-handed?"
James for Bird, another 3-point try.
Shit pretty, man.
Left-handed is one thing, but when the game got
they go to
close, I had to go back to the right one. I think it went right down the wire, and we might have won by 1 point.
You're right there. You got to keep them under control. They don't.
And the Blazers have timeout with 3 seconds remaining.
Magic come down and do his thing, and orchestrate his team and make them understand this way, this we gonna run this. I was in awe, and Don Nelson, he had called a timeout, had to take me out the game because he's like, "I hope you're not in awe and watching him and not really playing." I wanted to tell him, "Yeah, I need to sit down for a minute because wow, it took me a half just to realize that I'm playing against Magic."
The one thing I think Magic brought that Lakers team
is that he was a leader. After a while, you didn't look at his age because you looked at his basketball IQ. And it was as high as any coach that ever played this game, and some of the best with Jerry West and Bill Russell, just to name a few. His basketball height, this guy's 19 years old. So we knew he was special, and it was going to be a lot of fun. And boy, it was almost like going on a Beatles tour or a Rolling Stones tour. It was a tour, man. It was a ride, and we all enjoyed it.
That fake?
Oh, boy, what a play.
Well, we had Larry, which was a great offensive force. He had the respect of the officials. And plus, he was able to create offense not only for himself, but for Kevin and myself. And one thing that the three of us had going for us, we could all shoot the basketball. We was all great finishers. Right. Larry was able to create a lot of offense for Kevin and myself, but we had a lot of points. I like to go back and see how many layups and dunks I got because of Larry, his creativity.
Bird coming around. Oh, what a pass to Parrish.
Perfect. Play with Larry Bird. Believe me, I mean, Larry's going to get the lion's share, and he should have.
Loop it into McKay.
What a pass.
Bird for three. Bird winds up again, 3 points. 3 for 3. Bird kept it alive for 2.
Leader.
Well, Larry was more reserved, kept to himself, and that I think is one of the reasons why he was an ideal leader, because he wasn't very vocal. He led by example. Every night practices also.
Great, Seasting is with him. Larry, different.
He played the game with a flair, okay? They needed a player, or we needed a player like him, who could do so many things. He could rebound the ball, of course, extraordinary passer, and a great leader. And, you know, to watch him, have the privilege to watch him as a 20-year-old kid, a 19-year-old kid, and go from Michigan State to come and make the impact that he made on this Laker team. And he was like a wild card because he could do so many things. That's today why I think coaches, and particularly executives, admire players that have, they can play different positions. So if someone gets hurt, you're not hurt nearly as bad, and particularly when you're as great as he was. It just, maybe you put him in a position where we're gonna be better than the player that was out. And his enthusiasm, the smile, approachable, he hasn't changed a whole lot today.
And Larry was a serious trash talker in the sense that he would challenge people to be able to either block this shot or get a hand up on this play, or so it was all in I think good nature, but still a way of challenging teams that we were playing against to be able to match his speed.
I really do believe it's the basketball guys put the two players right where they were supposed to be. They couldn't have been anywhere else and they've been as successful. When you talk Magic Johnson and you're talking basketball, you've got to say Larry Bird. If you're talking Larry Bird, you've got to say Magic Johnson. And I think Magic Johnson and Larry Bird, they changed the course of basketball to what it is today. And that happened in the 80s. So when I look at basketball like that, I'm very happy and proud that I was playing in that era, but I still see it as a whole. And the evolution that we come to today was set in stone in 1980.
That's when television and basketball really took off. You had the Lakers, you had the 80s, you had the floppy hair of Larry Bird, you had the style and grace and flair of Showtime and Magic.
I'm not a limelight type of guy. I'm not a self-promoter. I sort of let my basketball do my talking. I love to play the game.
Oh, what a pass to Parrish.
I don't know other athletes, but if they're treated as well as I was treated in Boston, they should be very grateful because it was the ride of my life. There's no question about it. Best time of my life, and I'll never forget it.
We ended up in the two most famous, franchises, right? Celtics and the Lakers, and then his personality was Boston. My personality was Hollywood. Right. I mean, they couldn't have scripted this any better.
No.
We actually brought the finals and all the other games to primetime TV. Yep. Larry and I changed the whole league, and also too, every other year, the Lakers will win or the Celtics will win.
Right.
Lakers will win or the Celtics will win. So it was just great.
So guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and tell me, what is your favorite Magic or Larry Bird story? So make sure you like, share, subscribe, and show love to the YG gang, and I'm out.
Salute John Gallup. Thank you for the video. Two guys say the game. Hey, salute Bird, salute Magic. Thank y'all Bird family, thank y'all Magic family. Thank y'all Stat family for watching the full video. We're gonna be back with another video after this video. Make sure y'all stay prayed up. Y'all be safe. Y'all be good. You know.